When I came home that evening, I already felt a strange pressure in my chest, like my body knew something my mind didn't. The sun was sinking behind the rooftops, a soft orange glow spreading across the street like a warm blanket. But nothing about that moment was warm. I turned the corner toward my house, the same house where I had grown up, laughed, cried, learned to read, learned to live, and suddenly the world felt foreign, because all my belongings were stacked neatly at the front door. My clothes, my backpack, my old suitcase, my photo albums, even the little wooden jewelry box my grandmother had given me. Everything was piled outside exposed, vulnerable, like me. At first, I tried to pretend I didn't understand. Maybe my mom was cleaning, reorganizing, doing one of her sudden, I need to empty the house moods, but this wasn't organizing. This was an exile. Before I could knock, the window on the second floor slid open, and my mother leaned out. Her face was expressionless, not angry, not sad, just empty, hollow, like someone had drained every emotion she ever had. Her voice cut through the air calmly, but it stabbed like a knife. "I don't ever want to see you again." The world stopped. I didn't understand. I couldn't. "Mom?" My voice cracked. What are you talking about? What happened?" She didn't answer. She didn't blink. She just closed the window. Slowly. Final. Like she was sealing a tomb. Like I was the thing being buried. I didn't realize I had fallen to my knees until I felt the cold concrete digging into my skin. I didn't realize I was crying until my vision blurred. I didn't realize I was shaking until my suitcase toppled over beside me. I had never felt so unwanted, so erased. I don't know how long I sat there. Minutes, hours, everything blurred, twisted, collapsed. The only thing that cut through the fog was the soft sound of footsteps approaching. Mrs. Dalton, the old woman from next door, held something in her hand, a folded piece of paper. "Your mom asked me to give you this," she said softly. Inside was a printed email. Anonymous. "Your daughter betrayed you. Ask her about the money." A single tear dropped onto the paper. Money? I didn't have money. I barely had enough to pay rent and food. But then I remembered a weird text from an unknown number 2 weeks earlier. "Did you receive the deposit?" I had ignored it. My stomach twisted as I opened my banking app with trembling fingers. There it was. A $15,000 deposit. Sent by someone identified only as WH and immediately withdrawn. Every cent. In my name. As if I had stolen it. My hands went cold. Someone had framed me. And then I knew the initials William Harper, my father, the man who disappeared when I was 8, the man who had broken my mother's heart, the man whose name we never spoke. Now he was back, and he was trying to destroy me. At that moment, my phone buzzed with a new message. Blocked number. "If you want your mother back, stop looking." My blood ran cold. He was watching. He knew exactly where I was. He knew my pain, my confusion, my fear, and he didn't care. I should have run, but I didn't. I gathered my things and left with a single thought. I will get my mother back. Whatever it takes. That night, I checked into a small motel room with the last $90 in my account. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't think straight, but I could feel something. Anger, hot and sharp, rising inside me. Whoever was doing this wanted me afraid, but fear is a strange thing. After enough pain, it turns into determination. I spent the next morning tracking everything I could about the deposit calls, emails, banking routes, IP addresses. Many were blocked or masked, but one mistake stood out. The deposit had been initiated from a device near Stanton, a small town 2 hours away. My father had grown up there. I didn't think, I just went. When I arrived, the air smelled like rust and forgotten memories. Stanton was the kind of place where time seemed to rot instead of pass. I walked past broken mailboxes, shuttered stores, peeling paint, until I reached the address linked to the IP, an abandoned workshop, lights off door half open. My heart raced. Inside, the floor was covered with old tools, dusty papers, empty bottles, and a single photo on the ground. A photo of me, taken from a distance, outside my job, outside my home, at the bus stop. My breath caught in my throat. Someone had been watching me for months. Then I heard a noise behind me. Footsteps, slow, deliberate, familiar. When I turned around, a man stood in the doorway, tall gray at the temples, hollow eyes, a face I barely recognized but never forgot. My father. "Hello, kid," he said, smiling faintly. "Been a long time." My voice barely formed words. "What did you do to my mother?" He shrugged. "She needed to be redirected." "Redirected?" I choked out. "You ruined everything. You framed me. You made her hate me." He stepped closer. "She was too attached to you. It made things difficult." "What things?" I demanded. And then, the truth unraveled. My father owed money. To the wrong people, dangerous people. He ran from them for years, but recently, they tracked him down. And the only way he could escape was by giving them someone else, someone who shared his blood, someone easy to manipulate, someone who wouldn't see it coming. Me. I felt the floor tilt. "You sold me out," I whispered. He didn't deny it. "You're strong," he said. "You'll survive." But I knew he didn't believe that. He didn't care if I did. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. "They're expecting you tonight. Don't make this harder than it has to be." I backed away. "No," I said. "I'm not going anywhere with you." He sighed. "You don't have a choice." I ran, out of the workshop, into the street, heart exploding, tears blinding me. Every step screaming for survival behind me. I heard him call out, not angrily, not violently, but with a coldness that froze my bones. "They'll find you anyway." I made it back to the city by nightfall, but nothing felt safe. Every shadow looked like a threat. Every stranger looked like a hunter. I went to my mother's house, just once more, just to try. I knocked softly. "Mom," I whispered. "Please, please talk to me." The window opened. She looked at me, not with hate this time, with sorrow. Deep, unbearable sorrow. "Leave," she whispered. "It's not safe for you here." My breath shattered. "Mom, please." She closed her eyes, tears sliding down her cheeks. "I love you," she whispered. "I always will. But you can't come home." She closed the window. A final time. I waited and waited, but she didn't come back. Not that night. Not the next day. Not ever. My father disappeared again. The people he owed money to never contacted me. Maybe they found someone else. Maybe they didn't need me anymore. Maybe he handled it in a way I'll never know. My mother never called, never wrote, never answered the door. And I learned something cruel about life. Sometimes the truth doesn't set you free. Sometimes it just leaves you alone. But I found work, found a small apartment, found pieces of myself I didn't know were still alive, and every night as I lock my door, I whisper one promise to myself. He may have taken my home, my past, my peace, but he didn't take my strength, and he never will.